What's up, guys? It is a beautiful spring day. I am on my way to the garden. My girls are already over here waiting for me. So it actually has been raining for the past 2 or 3 days. I apologize, it is a very windy day today. But while it had breaks in between the rain, I actually did some rogue planting. Our last estimated frost is around April 2nd, and I looked at the 15-day forecast, which goes all the way up to like April 8th, and there is not one night below freezing for all the way up to April 8th. It doesn't even go below 40. So I did some rogue planting. I planted 2 more beds of potatoes, which is fine. I was going to plant those anyway, but I also planted a bed of pole beans. I actually planted 4 beds of pole beans in between the rain 2 days ago. I came out here when the rain had a short break, and I decided that I was just going to go ahead and plant some beans. Used these 4 beds right here. They are right after the onions. I planted some, what are these? These were Kentucky pole beans. I planted, what else? Sunset runner bean. The other 2 varieties of pole beans I planted were a rattlesnake pole bean and a Mayflower pole bean. So I have 4 beds of pole beans going along this fence, and I'm going to use the fence to trellis them. So I planted them along the back of the gate, and I used the gate as spacing. Then yesterday I not only got this bed here, the second bed, and filled, I planted bush beans in these 2 beds, and I had a lot of Dollar Tree bush bean seeds. I can't remember all the varieties right now, but I planted about 4 different varieties of bush beans in those 2 beds. I also had a bunch of carrot seeds spill in my house, so I just went ahead and had my friend's daughter just sprinkle them all over the carrot bed, so they weren't spaced or anything like that. The bed that you guys know, if you've been following me for a while, I had some carrots die, so I just had her sprinkle those seeds right on top of the soil, and we'll see what happened. I also had some parsnip seeds packets, and I saw that it was still, according to the Farmer's Almanac, I could still plant parsnips, and so I definitely did. I have this bed right here, which I already had some parsnip seeds sprout, and so I just went ahead and sprinkled the rest of my parsnip seeds, used the rake, raked them out, and they've been watered in for the past 2 days, so that's awesome. The house next door to us, they are fixing it up and flipping it to sell it, so if you hear loud machinery, that's what's going on over there. Some other updates is I added in this last bed back here. And we got this part mulched in with the cardboard put down, and before the rain started we had only put that much topsoil in and then had to run in from the rain. So that completes, that is the last bed for to make this completely even. I do still have all of this space that has my containers and stuff like that, but if you can see where my daughter's playing with that purple bucket's at, that's where I'm thinking is going to close off this right to this pole right here is going to close off this garden area, and I'm thinking about maybe putting a greenhouse back in this area. So I'm thinking about leaving this back area here and putting a greenhouse and then planting maybe flowers around it or something, or keeping containers around it. I'm not exactly sure, but I will definitely have to move those pools because they're past that fence post, and that's where the gate will close in at. Another thing that I'm going to be working on today is this bed right here. I measured it and it was about 27 feet. I have cattle panels that I'm going to put up right there, and instead of cutting a cattle panel, since they are 16 feet, I am just going to extend that and make it 32 feet so that I could have 2 cattle panels up and not have to cut one. We are also going to get a cattle panel, 2 more cattle panels, one on each of the log raised beds that I have my brassicas in, to get ready to be planting tomatoes out. My husband just went inside to go change to come outside to help me, and my girls are going to be working on putting down cardboard. We have a small section left up here towards the front that needs cardboard to connect to the black weed fabric that we have. So it's not that, just from right here to there. It's probably like 10 feet maybe less. But and then that little section right there. Okay, as you saw, we brought out the cattle panels, because I'm going to put one here and one back there. Brought out the 2 for this bed. I'm going to be extending this bed like I already told you, and making it 32 feet so I don't have to cut these cattle panels. And I'm going to be zip tying them at the middle to connect them, and then stand them up so that I could plant tomatoes in this row. Okay, so we got the cattle panel up, but I'm going to bring you in closer to show you some mistakes that we made. So we connected the 2 cattle panels in the middle, and this T-post was supposed to be lined up right here so that we could zip tie both of them here, but instead it was off a few inches. But my husband had to run to bring my son to baseball practice, so we just put it on here, and we'll probably fix it when he gets back. Then this one was off about 1 inch, but it's fine. And then this one was off a lot, and so we'll fix this one and bring it out to the last cattle panel right here. So we'll have to fix 2 T-posts, but we kind of forgot that the time, and my son having to be at baseball practice, so this is what we have up so far. I completely forgot until I was just sitting here that we also planted my ginger in this bed, or in this pool, this kiddie pool. Ginger grows more wide than it does deep, and so I was saving this last kiddie pool to plant my ginger in. And yesterday when I had my friend's daughter here, both of my friend's daughters, I had them with me, and so they helped me plant the ginger as well. We also planted some seeds inside, which were cucumbers and zucchini, so that's really exciting. Since I can't put up cattle panels by myself, what I think I'm going to work on doing, well, I could put the T-post up, but instead what I think I'm going to do is remove the wood chips from the end of this bed and open it up. It has cardboard underneath, and start adding the compost. As I had thought that's where the bed was going to end, and so I filled it with wood chips over the cardboard. But instead I'm going to move the wood chips all the way out the way, and then put the compost here to connect with this bed. Okay, so I added 1 wheelbarrow of compost right here to the end. So that's how that's looking like with the cattle panel. And I'm so excited. I think that I could plant 11 tomatoes per cattle panel. I think that gives me a spacing of about 1.5 feet, 18 inches. So since that's 32 feet, I'm thinking I could plant 22 tomato seedlings there. And since I still have lots of daylight, it's been getting late, or dark, so much later, I think I'm going to try my hand at getting these T-posts in the ground. I don't know how that will turn out. I've never tried to get T-posts in the ground, but I think I'm gonna try. Oh, something exciting. You guys saw last time I planted asparagus, purple asparagus, in this bed, and we already have purple. I ran out of purple asparagus popping up all over, and I ran out of purple, and so I started planting some green in this bed. So I have some green down here, but then this bed is full of green asparagus, and they are all over. I think the highest one, or the biggest one, is this one. How cool is that? I feel like I literally just planted, well, I mean I did, but I feel like it was less than a week ago. I don't know how long ago it was that we planted that asparagus, but it's so nice to see them sprouting already. You don't want to start picking on your asparagus until they are much bigger. You want them bigger than, like, you know, the size of my finger or the size of a pencil, and right now they're still pretty slim. So I'm hoping by next year I will be able to harvest a lot of asparagus. I love asparagus. I think only me and my husband actually eat asparagus, but I don't mind. I'll eat all the asparagus. Oh my goodness. I have no idea what was on me, but I felt like something was crawling on me, and then I went to swipe my neck and it felt like something hard. And I absolutely hate bugs. Anyway, I knew, I was just waiting. I was like, you know, one of these days on camera I'm gonna freak out because a bug's gonna be on me. So far it's only happened when the camera's been off, but that was definitely something on me because there's nothing hard on me now. So this bed is just shy of 16 feet. So instead of having the T-post at the end where the log's at, we put it, tried to measure it for this one, and the same thing for the other end. Decided to put it inside of the bed, and because I'm thinking I would grow tomatoes on the inside rather the outside and pushing it closer, because it would just be easier to harvest tomatoes right on the outside of the bed than having to reach inside of the bed from this way and harvest tomatoes all the way at the back when I'm going to have plants this way. So I'm going to do the tomatoes right here and then plant everything else on the opposite side. And we're just going to go ahead and do the same thing for this back bed right here. How awesome is that? We have this cattle panel up in this bed, and then we got the next one up. I put this one on the opposite end of the bed. The other one I planted on this end, but as you can see I have some brassicas like kale that are still alive on this end. So instead of just putting the cattle panel in on them, I decided to put the cattle panel on this side. And since there's not really much going on this side, there's a few carrots right here, but that is about it. We tried to originally put the T-post right there, but there is roots where the trees used to be. So that's what we were having a hard time with when putting down these that's what we were having a hard time with when we were putting in the T-post, because this area right here had lots of big pine trees, and so some places we could not get the T-post hammered in, so we just had to pick a new spot. But that is 2 single cattle panels in up here, and the 2 that we originally did, and I am so excited. So my girls finished filling in this area, so all that's done. So what we're going to be working on for the rest of the night is moving this soil and compost that we have left I have the 2 beds that I told you I planted bush beans in yesterday, but I have 3 more beds that need to go here. You can see where we stopped with the cardboard boxes and the wood chips, because 3 more beds need to go here, but I can't with the topsoil and the compost there. So my girls are working on moving it. My husband is dumping it into the last bed that I put out there yesterday. Once we get these 3 beds here, the side will be finished. The 3 beds are already made. My son made them last night, and they will be lining up 1, 2, and then 3 right behind those beds. I want to give you guys an update as the sun is setting. We got all 3 of the beds lined up and filled. So they are all lined up and filled, and this is how much topsoil and compost we have. And I'm thinking about just spreading it out and making an in-ground bed, but we shall see. I have all of these wood chips that need to be flattened here, and have a pile of wood chips that need to be flattened here. But we have completely used up all, if you can see that dark area right there, all of the wood chips that we got from Chip Drop to fill these areas. This is what's missing, and between the walkways. But that was the last bed that I am putting on this side, because like I was explaining, if you haven't been here, I am continuing the gate from this post all the way down to meet the edge of the driveway, which is about right there. So it's going to start cutting in and be about where that gate is, the white gate. So that's how much space would be between that bed. The longer nights are really nice. It's already 6:30, I think, and we've gotten so much done, way more than I was hoping to get done today. I was just expecting to get up the cattle panels and extend the bed, but we also ended up getting the 3 extra beds in. Thank you guys so much for hanging out with us today, and we'll see you guys next time. Bye.